Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, hey man, I don't know my background red, background color red. We just gonna roll with it, I guess. Look how red tinted. Man, I guess it's maybe because of the. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm tripping. Uh, but hey, welcome to Life Off the Bench. Man, we're still going to be doing our Sunday show. It's something different that I've decided to do from a perspective of just talking about life issues that have serious or grave consequences to our everyday lives. Um, and so the topic today, y'all, and I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better with this, you guys, as we go. Uh, I'm gonna get better with this, you guys, as we go. Um, I promise I am. New software we're using. Uh, just trying to be better at some stuff. And we're gonna keep going forward from there. But today, today we're just gonna talk about, man. Uh, I read this probably about a month ago, um, and it really disturbed me. Uh, let me go to it. I gotta go find it again, you guys. I had it open somewhere. Uh, it's really disturbing, you guys. It says this from the dailybeast.com, you guys. I'm gonna want to put that out there for sure. Come on, come on. It's opening up, you guys. I'm trying to find some other stuff. Come on, open. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It says Jim Crow is resurrected in Mississippi. Jim Crow is resurrected in Mississippi. Early this month, white representatives and the Mississippi House approved a bill to create a new district. This that includes all of the majority white neighborhoods in Jackson, a capital city that is 83% black. This includes creating a criminal justice system for the district overseen by an all white power base. Under House Bill 1020, the white conservative Chief Justice of the Mississippi Supreme Court would handpick the new district's two supervising judges, its prosecutors, and public defenders, and would be chosen by the state's white Republican Attorney General. In 2023, how does a city in a state like Jackson, Mississippi become a Jim Crow city within that state? That is, man, that is just, that's asinine, man. That's asinine. Uh, so let's take a listen at this. This is something that I found on Facebook, and in the future going forward, I'm gonna have stuff uploaded where we just watch it.
Most restless nigga. Strip him his clothes in front of the remaining male niggas, females, and nigger infants. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a horse facing in opposite direction, set him on fire, and beat both horses until they tear him apart. In front of the male, female, and nigger infants. Bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males within an inch of their life. Do not kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for they can be useful for future breeding. Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody raise your hand? No one? He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. The word lynching came from his last name. His methods were very simple, but they were diabolical. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. Take the meanest, most restless nigga. Strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, female niggers, and nigger infants. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a horse facing in opposite direction, set him on fire, and beat both horses until they tear him apart. In front of the male, female, and nigger infants. Bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males within an inch of their life. Do not kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for they can be useful for future breeding. Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. No one? He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. The word lynching came from his last name. His methods were very simple, but they were diabolical. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. Take the meanest, most restless nigga.
Man, that's Denzel. What was the name of that movie? Yeah. Yeah. The Great Debaters. That was an excerpt from The Great Debaters where Denzel was trying to explain to the debaters about Jim Crow. And it was a method in which the oppressors use to keep the oppressed oppressed. Well, we can't, surely we can't want to go back to that. And with this new passing of Jim Crow, it says that no matter how far you think you've come, you still haven't come far enough. Because again, in 2023, it's no way a bill like the Mississippi House Bill 1020 should even been able to come up as a subject matter. Like, is there still that much hate? Is it still that much? Can I say it? Is there still that much racism in the world? In a world where little children grow up playing together with no recourse, they become best friends and they play together, they hang out together, uh, they do all kind of fun things together as young children, as young adolescents. And where does the change happen between the ages of 17 and 30? What has happened in this society to where we're reverting? What has happened in this society to where we're reverting? It just cannot be that much hatred in the world to where we want to go back to one of the worst times in the history of the world. And if you don't believe that slavery was one of the worst times in the history of the world, just envision yourself being a slave, being beaten for not moving fast enough or for having your own thoughts and or opinions about how someone else is cruelly mistreating you. Would you like that? Really, would you like that? I'm sure you wouldn't. Because the people who had to endure it didn't like it. So much so that they tried on many occasions to escape captivity, bondage, sometimes with no avail. But in the simple mindedness of how slavery affected people, can we be sure to be honest about the situation? A situation that in the process of learning more and more every day because of this thing called social media, because of this thing called the internet, more and more information is being put forth of what happened. There's pictures, there's video. And with the repression of these things by people such as Florida Governor Rick DeSantis, if what you're trying to do or accomplish is good, why wouldn't you want the world to know about it? Why wouldn't you want everyone to see the good you're doing if what you're trying to do is so good? It can't be if you're trying to suppress these different things that you're trying to suppress from the educational standards in the great state of Florida. Or why would the NAACP from a Florida district or region be saying, hey, don't come to Florida as a place to vacation? We all have a responsibility, color be damned, to be our brothers and sisters keeper. That means building up and growing, educating, helping people to comprehend and and to build to be better young men and women. Because if we can't educate the youth today properly, this Jim Crow thing won't just happen in the city of Jackson, state of Mississippi next. Next, it may be Louisiana. Next, it may be Alabama. Next, it may be Tennessee. Next, it may be South Carolina, North Carolina. Next, it may be Arkansas. And what do we have then? Do we have another civil war? We have enough issues already. So let's just be mindful of what's happening in our communities. Be mindful of the people that we're electing to do our bidding. And this is another issue. The the thing speaks of all the Bible. Let's just be real. The Bible speaks of all kind of ideologies, but one that always concerns me is the wolf in sheep's clothing. The wolf in sheep's clothing. And why am I bringing that up? Because here lately we've seen more and more people who run as Democrats only to become elected. And then we find out that they have Republican ideologies. And so sometimes it takes a majority vote to get someone elected. If 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 that's what we're doing, we need to use those same votes to unelect them, to have them removed from their office. Because that person now has done more harm than good. And how can we trust a person that will not absolutely stand on what they say they believe in? How can we ever trust that person? The world has come too far to look back, to go back. We must do a better job at being our brothers and sisters keepers from every aspect and avenue, road, drive, lane, uh, just so that we can grow cohesively as men and women. So we can show our children and our grandchildren how to live a better life. And it's got to be bigger than the four walls that encompass your house and the people who walk through the walls that encompass your house. Because again, the things that we teach our children and our grandchildren today are the fundamental principles that they're going to live from tomorrow. All right. Next topic, next topic, next subject. Let me go back, y'all. Let me go back. Um, this should be a really let me do this first, you guys. Subject that's growing nearer and nearer to my heart. I have some family members that deal with this process, and the process is called autism. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition of variable severe severity with lifelong effects that can be recognized from an early childhood, chiefly characterized by difficulties with social interaction and communication by restricted or repetitive patterns of thoughts and behavior. Students with autism want to be accepted like every other student. Man, autism. What defines someone as autism? Autistic. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. People with ASD often have problems with social communications and interaction and restrictive or repetitive behaviors or interests. People with ASD may also have different ways of learning, moving, or paying attention. What are the three main symptoms of autism? Let's see if we can pull this up. And this coming from the www.nhs.uk. All right. Common signs of autism in adults include finding it hard to understand what others are thinking or feeling, getting very anxious about social situations, finding it hard to make friends, or preferring to be on your own. All right, let's see. Signs and symptoms for autistic kids. And this one is coming from activebeat.com. One in children is disconnection to others. Children with autism often seem distant or disconnected to loved ones, for example, parents and siblings. For instance, they may seem to be emotionally disconnected from others and may not register the difference between facial cues and others. Whereas children with autism often don't react any differently to a frown or scowl as they would to a smile or laugh. Man, autism is a horrible, horrible situation that is not only hard for the child or the adult who has to endure it, but also for the caregiver. Um, and I hope my niece doesn't mind me talking about my nephew, my great nephew who has autism. But when he was younger, he would not speak. He was non-verbally autistic, and the first time that I was around him for a prolonged period of time, he would just cry sometimes because maybe he was hungry or thirsty or maybe even in pain, and we couldn't verbalize or understand why he was crying. He would just be crying. And that's why, as a family, a person who has a family member, especially from a child's perspective, um, man, it's disheartening to see someone you love just crying and you don't know how to help them. And I remember the first time he cried for a long period of time, I got aggravated. I can't even lie about it. Damn it, you better open your mouth and speak. That's not the proper way to handle that because the kid already doesn't understand his issue. And eventually, he did start talking. It took a long time, now a lot of years. I think Jeremiah might have been 8 or 9 before he started really talking a lot. But that took a lot of different things to help him get to that point. And now, um, although no matter how socially awkward we may think it is, it's an autistic child's normal everyday life just trying to figure it out. Just trying to figure life out. All right. Hey, I think this was a really great start. Again, as I learn more about using this new software that we're going to be using, we're just trying to get out to more different places at one time. As we broadcast Life Off the Bench and Off the Bench Sports Prep News, um, we're just trying to do something different. Also, we'll be starting a talking about sports from a grander view. We'll be doing the college now and all other professional sports, giving our side or our version of what we see. That should be interesting. Look forward to having all kind of special guests to come on and talk about sports and life issues here on Life Off the Bench and Off the Bench Sports. Um, hey, great show. I think again we're looking to add, grow, build, and all that other great stuff. Uh, so hey, why not? Uh, again, man, why not just y'all know what it is, man. Oh yeah, we there now. We almost there, y'all. We are almost there. Y'all like that? Me too. So hey, thank you guys for watching Life Off the Bench this morning. Yeah, y'all know how I do it. I'm gonna get better, better and better and better, and just trying to fulfill the circle of life in my media venture and my media quest um, to be better. Thank you guys again. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.